Good afternoon, Outliers. Happy Friday. Hope y'all are having a fantastic Friday. I went and had lunch with my son at school. We had some Chick-fil-A. Went and ran a million errands as I do on Fridays. So it's actually nice to sit down for a hot minute. How y'all doing? Dave, good to see you. Peter, all the way from the Netherlands. Good to see you, my friend. Mikey Mike's here. Michael Wales is here. Man, it is good to see everybody. Let's do this. Welcome to the Outlier Trading Room. This is smart trading made simple. This is where we save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, the best traders of all time. I've been successfully trading since 2009. And before we start trading, let's get into the lesson of the day. Jean-Louis made it. Good to see you, Jean-Louis. All right, so this video is 11 things that will destroy your wealth. Listen, I do 0 of these things, right? So let's go through this and see what they have to say for 11 things that'll destroy your wealth.
Make one small mistake, it could turn sour quickly when your partner discovers your infidelity. Just like money, if you're smart with it, you'll enjoy the
Wait, what? That escalated quickly.
Benefits of always being in a stable position in your life. Mistakes, no matter how minor, could lead to the destruction of the wealth you worked so hard to create. Here are some of the things you probably didn't know that are destroying your wealth. 11. Gambling. The #1 rule in gambling is that the game is always in favor of the house. No matter how close you feel you're about to win.
All right, so I don't gamble. I really don't like to gamble. It's not my thing at all. If we go to a casino, like an Indian casino close to here, or I mean, it's been over probably 15 years since I've been to Vegas. Not a gambler. But one of my brother-in-laws is. Now, I don't know what he does there. But every time he goes to one, he comes back and he's always like, and this just happened, right? So when we went to our Thanksgiving, we went to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and they have a Choctaw casino there. And dude came back and this is every time. Okay, it's not once, it's not twice, it's literally every time he goes to casino. Dude, I just made $25,000, right? I made 8,000 on this other machine, then I get up and I went over to this other thing and I made another 12,000, and it's just great. And it's like, how are you the one person that is always winning all this money from casinos? So I don't think that that's true. Now, he's the only person I know in my life that has any sort of gambling addict nature here. But I would be worried about that, right? Because, I think gambling is a slippery slope. Now, granted, I'll buy a lottery ticket like twice a year just for fun. My wife loves doing, she loves bingo. Oh my gosh, my wife loves to play bingo, like old lady bingo. And we don't get to do that all that often. So I'll buy her like a scratch off every now and then. That's the bingo scratch off. Dude, that scratches her itch for that. So yeah, gambling is not my thing at all. But I have heard that like sports betting is turning into a real problem. Let me know in the chat what you think about that.
Please resist the urge, because it's just a scheme to milk money from you. You might be playing on the slot machines or card games, and you're on a winning streak. In the long term, the house will win. It's a well-planned illusion while at the casino, as they want to have you there for as long as they can. They will offer free refreshments, and the environment itself will trick you with its non-existent natural light, making you unable to tell the time. Our addicted brothers and sisters lose more in the gambling dens, ranging from about $55,000 to $90,000 each year. That's enough to start a business that will sustain your lifestyle.
That is a buttload of money. I couldn't imagine dropping that kind of money on gambling. Goodness.
10. Cars. These raving...
Okay, so I will say, now, before they get to this, I will say that car ownership is probably one of the biggest wealth sucks in American history. What do I mean by that? Is like, imagine you get a car, and a lot of people these days, a lot of younger people these days, they need to have that status car, right? I mean, I was that way too when I was younger, right? I bought a Lincoln Navigator for my wife when I was probably 25, right? Probably shouldn't have bought a car like that. But, you know, it's exciting. It's fun. You've got a decent job. But imagine instead of spending, let's say, $50,000 on a car, because cars used to cost $50,000. Can you believe that? Instead of spending $50,000 on a car, which, okay, that Lincoln Navigator that we bought was $46,000, which looking back at it now is a steal of the century, because now those cars are like $110,000. It's crazy. But anyway, that monthly payment, if I had invested it, oh my God, $46,000 would have been just the start. I would have made 10 times that much investing it. And I think that that is a real problem for younger people right now, especially because car prices are so high, interest rates are so high. They're not able to get the $600 a month car payments that we used to have, right? It's $1,000, $1,200, $1,600, right? What used to be a mortgage payment is now your car payment on a depreciating asset. So yeah, I think car ownership is one of the huge, huge, huge ways that can absolutely destroy wealth without even trying. And unfortunately, that's kind of the American dream. Dave says he is not a fan of online betting at all, and I don't.
Living beasts are a sight to behold, and it's even better when you own one or two of them. However, don't be too quick to spend your money on acquiring such an asset. This is because it comes with a lot of baggage that will surely destroy your wealth. Why? Well, buying a new car will have you paying extra monthly or yearly charges to maintain it. This ranges from car.
Here's a good one. Yesterday, my wife and I just ordered custom plates. I don't know if I mentioned that before. We ordered custom plates for our cars. I got a Boy Scout plate, which I was really stoked about because my son's going to be an Eagle Scout. We ordered one. It says like Boy Scouts of America, Scouting Teaches Values, has a little Boy Scout logo on one side. And then I really want to do that. So it's $30 a year. I'm like, that's like $2.80 a month. Yeah, let's do it. And then my wife's car, she wanted a plate as well. And I was like, just pick one you want. And so she found one that says God Bless Texas on it, has a big flag on it. And I was like, this is cool. And that one was like $40 a year. So it's like, that's next to nothing, right? But then when I go to buy the plates, right, I have to pay the 30 and the 40 up front, which I knew about. But then I also had to make the registration up to a new month, right? Because they were like registered in June and April before, and now they're going to be registered in October, which I'm like, where the hell did the last 2 months go? You just stole 2 months from me. This is December. Why can't I have it December? Whatever. So I walked out there spending $150. And I'm like, oof. I mean, for somebody who wasn't planning on, really spending all that much money, that would really suck, right? I mean, you thought it'd be fun to have some custom plates, and now you're out, $150. Yeah. One thing that they're talking about there on that car insurance, good Lord. I just saw something yesterday that said car insurance went up 13% year over year. Car insurance is one of the biggest scams on earth, right? All insurance is. And listen, I worked at 2 different insurance companies. Car insurance. I saw something that said like, don't be surprised if you add a teenager and your car insurance bill is now $20,000 a year. And I'm like, $20,000 a year? My kid ain't driving if that's the case. Hey Wes, glad you're here. If you're going to gamble, have fun with it in Vegas, not online, and definitely not with your trading account for sure, dude. Hey Tug, glad you're here.
Car insurance, car payments, finance charges, and down payments. And we haven't even included the amount of fuel you need to run your errands daily and the parking fee. This will add up to roughly $450 a month, on top of the $35,000 used to purchase the car if it was new. Maybe you thought that it would be a smart move to buy a used car instead of a new one, which would have cost $20,000. Sure,
I am a huge used car buyer advocate. Now, you can get beautiful new used cars, right? Like our Navigator was used. My wife's Lincoln SUV, or not Lincoln, Lexus SUV was used. You buy a year out. I mean, buy it certified a year out. You're saving like 30% off retail, and you get a better warranty. Because, for example, her Lexus had like a 50,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty new, but because we got it certified a year old, had 20-something thousand miles on it. It actually had a 100,000 mile warranty. So we got 80,000 miles of warranty by buying used versus 50,000 miles of warranty buying it new, and it costs less money. So I'm a huge advocate for that. Now, my Tesla, I did have to buy new to get the $7,500 tax credit. So that's the first new car I bought since 2007. Teenager driver was the most painful thing ever in my car insurance. I believe that. Michael says, but if it's like Colorado, these custom plates give a large portion, if not all, of the custom plate fees to the organization. I think they do too. Yeah. So that was another reason I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Saved a few bucks, but the fact is that you just bought yourself a liability that depreciates every single day. The stats show that a new car depreciates 15% in the first year of driving it. Thereafter, it decreases a further 15% each year. So if you wanted to sell the same car 3 years later, you'd only get $10,000 to $18,000 for it. Now that car dealership isn't looking all that enticing, right? 9. Debt. Don't get me wrong, debt isn't always the enemy, as it can help salvage a failing business, or even create an outstanding income-generating stream if well thought through. I'm talking about student loan debt and credit card debt. These two are the most well-known American dream slayers, with up to 1.
I think student loan debt, I mean, I had student loan debt for a while. It allowed me to get my MBA, but then I paid it off. I wouldn't say student loan debt on the whole is a bad thing, right? But I would say that getting $200,000 in student loan debt for a job that has, a maximum salary of 60, 80,000 total, and you're going to be paying that for 25 years or more, that's not a good thing, right? But think of it as leverage, right? If I can if I can take a little bit of a loan out now and have exponential gains later in my life, which is exactly what I did, worth it, worth every penny, worth it would 10 times as much. But you've got to balance that relationship there, right? But I went to school on scholarships, right? I went to school on an academic scholarship and a band scholarship. That's where my wife and I met, was in the band. And yeah, so like my total out of pocket, my mom paid for it because it was so cheap. My total out of pocket was like $1,600 a semester. It was nothing. And it doesn't really take rocket science to figure out you can change your majors, your career objectives, assuming you're going to actually go into that career, and do really well with student loan. Credit card debt, on the other hand, whole other stuff. There is no benefit to credit card debt other than giving up, 30% of your income or whatever it is, 30% of what you spend in interest per year. Yeah, that's the only benefit to credit cards. Jay Leno has argued that cars are a strong, well, it depends on the car, right? If you go out and buy a 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe that's peeling paint, I wouldn't say that's a great investment. Unless you spend $4,000 on it and it allows you to go to and from a job that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And now you can earn $70,000 in that job that you wouldn't have been able to do had you not had a car. Then it's a fantastic investment. Dave says, did student loans for my master's paid off quickly with raises that came with it? Well worth the investment. Yeah, dude. I wouldn't say all student loans are bad, but you have to pick the right leverage for it.
$0.6 trillion in student debt alone in the US. Stay away from the fascination of going to a more prestigious university than you can afford. It forces you into debt that will take a good amount of time to pay off, instead of opting for a local university that will take you in for a cheaper price. You could also look into getting grants and student scholarships. Coupled with student loans, a majority of students find themselves deep in credit card debt after spending their entire college years purchasing on credit the things they can't afford with cash. These debts are carried to adulthood, leaving many shackled to massive debt. Despite getting a handsome paycheck at the end of the month, many end up broke because a large portion of that income is spent on repaying all the debt they have accrued.
But there's nothing wrong with living broke the first few years after college to pay off those things, which is exactly what I did. Man, there was a point in time where I had 32 cents in my bank account, right? Probably it was 2009. I remember where we lived. I remember when I checked my bank account and saw 32 cents, I'm like, whoa, we are broke. But we were paying things off, right? Totally worth it. It's different. There are different stages in your life, different seasons in your life. And coming out of college is one of the seasons where being broke, you should be great with that. Being broke when you're 60, that's a really bad situation, right? Being broke when you're 23, you'll survive.
8. Financial illiteracy. Alan Greenspan once said that the biggest problem in today's generation and economy is the lack of financial literacy. It's no wonder many people are finding themselves deep in debt and stagnant despite having well-paying jobs. No person is interested in learning about money management. They'd rather just wing it when it comes to their finances, not knowing that financial knowledge is powerful. We simply
just wing it, bro. I will tell you, automating all my finances was one of the best things I ever did, right? I don't pay my mortgage. I don't pay my credit card. I don't pay whatever. By the way, always use your credit card on everything. I had this conversation with a friend of mine just on Sunday. We went out to dinner and he's pulling out his debit card to pay for it. And I relayed this story I'd heard, but I've been using exclusively my Capital One Venture X card for years, right? First to get 2% cash back, whatever. But if you use a credit card and you have fraud, which I have every time it swipes, I show an alert on my phone so I can just make sure it's me, right? One time My wife she works at a school, and I got an alert that said, $58 at a Exxon in Temple, Texas, and I'm like, I don't think she's in Temple. She should be right up the road. So I called her, and of course it was fraud. But because we had a credit card instead of a debit card, because we had a credit card, they just cancel that transaction, cancel any other fraudulent transactions, and send you a new card. Easy peasy. When you use a debit card and the debit card gets hacked, then your funds are going out from place to place to place. And then they have to go try and get those funds back to deposit it into your account. So the risk factor goes up tremendously, right? It feels no different putting one card number in versus the other. But at the end of the day, you can have a transaction canceled and it just goes away versus you have to wait 60, 90, 180 days to get your funds back into your account anytime there's fraud, which sucks. So even though I don't want you to get in credit card debt, because paying off the credit card each month is just super easy when you just, auto pay everything. Using a credit card is a much safer way to do business than a debit card. Just period, hands down, full stop.
We think that we can duplicate what other people are doing, and our money bags will be fuller. Sorry to be the one to tell you this, but your finances are as unique to you as your fingerprint. There is no one shoe fits all. You have to learn to balance what you spend on versus how much you earn, to come up with the most workable budget for you. Learn about accounting and investing. This kind of knowledge will be beneficial in the long run, whereas a lack of it will destroy your wealth more than you acquire it. 7. Fashion. Gucci bags, Louboutin shoes,
Oh, man. Okay. I have a Rolex, a real Rolex. I also have a fake Rolex. That's identical to the real Rolex. The real Rolex was my dad's. He's still alive, praise Jesus, but he doesn't wear it anymore. And so he's like, Chris, do you want this? I'm like, sure. It's in the safe in my house. I'm never going to wear it unless, I want to be ultra fancy. My fake Rolex, I wear to church. And that's it, right? I don't like to wear jewelry. I actually hate wearing jewelry. In fact, my wedding band, my wife gets on my case because I don't like to wear it because I really don't like any jewelry on my skin at all. And I was like, listen, I would rather go get a tattoo of a wedding band than wear this thing every day. It just is not comfortable to me. But one of our family members, so speaking of fashion, this is what I want to chat about. They have decided that they are going to stop paying on their credit cards and do a debt consolidation, which I'm like, oh my God. This is a terrible way to destroy your wealth, right? Absolutely. But you better believe she got that real Louis Vuitton bag. She got that real $4,400 bag over her shoulder. Yeah, legit. That is I think broke people like showing brands more than rich people do. I really think that. I think broke people want to convince you that they're wealthy by brands, whereas wealthy people don't need you to even consider that they're wealthy by the brands that they wear because they are. They don't need that validation. So yeah, when I heard that, I literally was thinking about that this morning while I was doing the dishes. Because I don't know if you realize this, but I may have, multiple 7 figures, but I still do the dishes, right? Just how life goes.
Rolex watch. I'll try to make a good first impression.
With this ink, I thee wed. Yes, I would much rather wear a tattoo ring than wear my actual ring.
Stop it, please. You don't need to have the most expensive suit in the room to make an impression. All you need is a normal-looking one that's crisp and clean. Brush your teeth and maintain a good hygiene season with some charisma and personality. You'll have everyone in the event looking for an opportunity to interact with you. We can all attest to doing all this clingy dressing just...
In fact, I had a conversation with a business owner one day, and the start of the conversation was I recognized his shirt because I had the same one from Costco. And we went on a back and forth rant about like, oh, I got this from Costco. And I was like, oh yeah, I got these shorts from Costco. And I got that shirt from Costco. We went back and forth about how we buy our clothes at Costco. I think I got this shirt at Costco, in fact. And it's like, I don't need to spend extra money on fashion. Neither do you. But I can tell you, buying it at Costco for, well, it's probably $15 versus buying it off the rack at Dick's Sporting Goods for $35. I suppose that'd add up. But yeah, fashion's stupid. Just my opinion. Dave, The wealthiest people I know have worked with billionaires, drove old trucks, and you would never know they're wealthy going down the road. Yep.
Just to keep up with the Joneses. But we end up looking rich outside, while our bank accounts are screaming for help. It costs more to buy a $200 bag that you carry only once, instead of buying one versatile one. 6. Eating out. Did you know that you probably spend around
This is a problem in my house. My wife's hobby is eating out. Like, legitimately, that is what she loves to do. And I have said this to her multiple times. I said the biggest expense in our lives is food. So yeah, this is my wife. And like, we share a plate. I don't even get my own plate. In fact, Sunday at that dinner we went to, I was just telling you about, I ordered water because I wasn't hungry. Oh, I didn't want anything. I didn't want any drinks. I was just like, I want water. You know, and the total came up to $120. And I'm like, I want you to take account of what I ordered here. I ordered $0 worth of food, $0 worth of drinks. And this is costing me $120. And she's like, but you love me. And I'm like, I know, but still, this is the biggest expense of my life. Wes is like, same.
$3,000 a year just on takeout? That's 5 times the amount you'd have spent if you cooked the food yourself. Don't get me started on the amount of time you wasted waiting for your delivery to get to you, or how long it takes to pick up the delivery yourself. You'd be saving a good amount of cash every month by cooking your meals at home. You can stash this money away in your emergency fund for a rainy day. Doing this not only saves you money.
Just last night, my wife was out running. She had like multiple school events she had to go to. So me and the boys were at home. We had meatballs out of the freezer that I put in the air fryer. And me and the younger one, Elliot, we went to Walmart, picked up spaghetti sauce, picked up a loaf of French bread, and he saw some boxes of mac and cheese that he thought looked cool. We spent $11. So our dinner last night was $11, right? You don't have to do anything fancy, right? I mean, if food really is a huge problem in maintaining your budget, I mean, like legit, I fed a family of 3. My wife was out, like I said, for $11. You could totally do that. And DoorDash, oh man, yeah, that's a thing. He was at 7-Eleven the other day and someone had 2 DoorDashed Slurpees, right? Something that probably would have cost him like $1.89 total, probably cost him $17, including tips. Dave says, Costco meatballs are the best. I was craving those for lunch and found I was out. Peter says, at McDonald's, I want to buy a milkshake. Normal size, €4. Give me a break. So he skipped it. Yeah, dude. McDonald's, all that fast food stuff, like the cost benefit is gone on those anymore.
But allows you the opportunity to have a hot meal every day. You can watch how many calories you're eating. You can even personalize your meals as much as you want, without the worry that the restaurant will forget to add extra gravy again. Furthermore, it's healthier to make that dinner yourself. Don't fall in.
Oh, Michael says they would have been free because they were giving them away just for walking by the store, and he was making at least $5 on the deal. Just smart businessman, I guess.
Into this money trap and have your wealth robbed from you as you sit by and watch. 5. Wrong relationship. Being in the wrong relationship might just cost you a fortune.
Oh man, this is so true. I am blessed beyond belief to have found my wife. Like I say, we met in college in the band, and she played clarinet and I played trombone. We met in the marching band, and oh man, was she the right one for me? Because like this whole stock thing, I didn't get her permission. I just went, and then I told her what I was doing later, and she's like, "Okay, if you think this is going to work out, go for it." But I have often thought many times, if I didn't have her support, and let's say I had to do this behind her back, how difficult this would be, right? Picking the right spouse is so important, especially as a man who wants to have big dreams to to work on, right? Having somebody that's going to support you no matter what. Now, she's not my biggest cheerleader. I'll tell you that. She doesn't watch any video I do. She doesn't ask questions. Like I have to volunteer to tell her these things. But she does it passively, right? She has high expectations, and those expectations are that credit card better swipe. So as long as I'm making the credit card swipe, that's all she's asking for. And so that allows me the freedom and the support to know that I can push, right? I can try new things. Mikey Mike says, groceries are his second highest monthly expense. Yeah. Hopefully that'll change here in a couple of months with Donald Trump in charge. JTC, how you doing, my friend? First time I remember seeing you here. Glad you're here. We get the half a cow every year for about $3 to $4 a pound, depending on the size. Best meat every time. I think that's a great idea. I've never done that, but I've heard lots of people say good things about that.
Fortune in your finances. Up until today, you probably didn't know, but statistics prove that the average man spends close to $120,000 on dates. A wedding costs
$120,000 on dates per month.
about $34,000 to plan, with an additional $6,000 for an engagement ring. Can you imagine spending this much only to be hit with divorce papers? Quite expensive, don't you think?
Yeah, like I say, I picked the right girl. We got married when I was 22, which is really, really hard to think about. I was still working on my MBA when we got married when I was 22. Crazy. We went to Italy for 2 weeks on our honeymoon, and I came back and I was like, okay, now I got finals to do. I better not bust this, right? Because we got married November 22nd. But yeah, that was kind of risky, but then again, paid off. She's a good one. My wife is a fantastic cook. Dude, that's what locked me down. It's so funny how simple men can be, right? She would make me cherry pies. And that was exactly, I was like, all right, listen. The Warrant song, Cherry Pie, would play every time in the background. She's my cherry pie. Yeah, and that totally sold me on her. Just putting it out there, I sell a whole or half a bison and single cuts. Oh.
Survey carried out has shown that millennials getting into marriage secure themselves by signing a prenup in case things fall apart. In that case, they'll walk out of someone's life with something in their pocket. I don't know whom it might concern, but you better be keen when getting into relationships, because the wrong relationship will not only cost you emotional grief, but will also dent your wealth. The average marriage that works out in the US is 50%, so it's important you know this before venturing into it blindly. This means that if you flip a coin, you'll be able to predict whether your marriage will work out or not. In the case that things don't work out for you, it costs an average of $13,000 to facilitate a divorce, not forgetting other expenses such as alimony and child support that would be on your back. Without a doubt, we better invest smartly to avoid these blunders that will destroy our wealth. 4. Shopping. Shopping has turned into a famous trend all over the world, where one...
My wife has this shirt. She was wearing it just the other day. She wears it at Christmas time and says, here comes Amazon, right down my driveway. Yeah, she is not a jewelry girl, which thank goodness she's not. But boy, is she an Amazon girl. She is. I mean, it's daily. We got packages showing up. Bison sounds right. Dave says, my wife's cooking's horrible. Michael, I love you. What's for dinner? Yeah, dude.
Once someone makes some small amount of money, all that runs through their mind is how they'll swing by the mall and shop till they drop. We should be very precise in our shopping, and it would be better if we tagged along with a shopping list to avoid the temptation of overspending. A close look at this will help realize how much money is lost in thrift shops and shopping malls. All these shopping sprees eventually lead to debt, and even more debt if you aren't keen enough. Can you believe that the average credit card debt stands at $57,008?
Whoa.
3. No emergency.
Whoa. I did not know. Good Lord. $57,000 in credit card debt? Goodness gravy. Wow. I was not ready for that.
Fund. Living without an emergency fund is like going hiking and choosing not to carry an extra bottle of water. Because the instructor said that you'd be back from the hike in 6 hours, only for you to end up dehydrated because your only water bottle fell off of a cliff. The point here is life is unpredictable. It's so important to have an emergency fund ready. There isn't a standard amount of money you need to keep for any emergencies. Some say that you need to have saved triple your monthly income while specifying a certain amount. However, we're sure that not having an emergency fund will leave you broke in the event of an accident or calamity. You'll be forced to pay out of pocket or max out your credit to shelter yourself. This will in turn lead to several financial strains unfolding in your life. You'll be left wondering where your whole salary is disappearing to. 2. Alcohol. Some claim that a little wine every...
Dave says, what the frick? That is outrageous. He just paid us off last week. Congratulations, Dave. That's a big deal. Yeah, alcohol is such a racket. Like, I don't know. I haven't been ever that much of a drinker. Like, I'll have, if we go out, I might have one cocktail. I might have one old fashioned. If we go out to our, there's an Irish pub close to here, and I love Guinness. I might have 2 Guinnesses total, but I only go on Friday nights when they're $1 off, so it's like $6 each. Yeah, alcohol can be crazy. My wife, however, she'll put a few down, which contributes to why, the bill is always what it is.
Every day does more good than harm. But have you ever sat down to think about the financial implications that are associated with drinking? You're lucky if you drink just a little, because heavy drinkers are suffering out there. In 2018 alone, people have already downed more than 6.3 gallons of beer and 90 million gallons of wine. Do the math and you'll be stunned.
I don't think 6 gallons of beer is all that much, is it?
Even more shocking is that the wealthy and those who are well-educated are the ones partaking in this joyous affair. Be smart to avoid this other money trap, because we've all heard those stories. The ones who were once at the peak of their careers, both in title and income, end up losing their jobs because they go out drinking way too much. Reporting late to work or even delivering inaccurate reports is such a waste of good talent, don't you think? 1. Jewelry.
Oh, jewelry, like I was mentioning earlier. I'm glad she and I are not jewelry people. Going back to the Rolex thing, right? What is it, like 20? Hang on. Let's go price a Rolex real quick. Probably 20 grand for the one I have. But I'm never going to wear it. It's exactly that one. My dad bought this in 1983, and it looks almost brand new. And he, I think he told me he paid like $900 for it, which, in 1983 was probably a fortune. Yeah, like such a waste of money, in my opinion. But it's not just. I mean, it looks exactly like that, precisely exactly like that. Discover this model. How much does one of these cost? $9,100. $9,100. It says. I mean, sure, it's a beautiful watch, but you can do a lot of stuff with $9,100. That doesn't really work for me. Oh, Mikey Mike says booze is our fourth highest bill. Wild turkey equals joy.
Hip-hop has a firm grip on the dress code we wear, as well as the bling and glamour that adorns our outfits. You'll see little to none of these celebrities without some dope iced-out chain or a gorgeous Rolex watch worth millions. Take a look at Lil Wayne.
I have often wondered why, in some cultures, they wear these big, ugly, iced-out chains. I don't get that. That makes no sense to me. I mean, imagine you're spending, if it's all real, probably $100,000 on your necklace. Really? Why? Couldn't you have put that in like an investment property or stocks or something else? A necklace? I don't know. I don't get that.
For instance, he owns a pinky ring worth $2,000, and Rick Ross's custom-made chain worth $1.5 million.
What?
Practically speaking.
Okay, $1.5 million chain. Got it.
Owning such things may destabilize your wealth. Did you know that jewelry is a depreciating asset? Probably not. So next time you invest millions in jewelry, you better take a moment to critically assess your decision. Even if you purchase top-shelf jewelry, it won't bring back as much as you invested, even if you resell it after a day. Jewelry is merely a status symbol that you really won't need to spend cash on. At the end of the day, the amount of wealth you're worth is not calculated by the gold chain on your neck. Be smart. One last question before we wrap up. What will you do when you're given $10,000 in cash? Let us know.
All right, what's your answer? What are you going to do when someone gives you 10 grand in cash? I'd like to know. I would. Oh, frankly, I just put it in my trading account, right? I got enough stuff going on that I don't need the money per se. But I would always like more in my trading account. Who wouldn't want more in your trading account? Because then you can trade with more. So either way, that's what I do if somebody just handed me 10 grand in cash. If that was useful to you, do me a favor, hit the share button to help somebody else not destroy their wealth. Oh, and you know what? It's time for this week's weekly winner circle. You thought I forgot. I didn't forget. You forgot. I didn't forget. Share your big wins. All right. So our weekly winner circle is super simple, super easy. All you have to do is post in the share your big wins section in our Discord and let us know how you're using OVTLYR, right? Let's see. Who was the winner last week? That was Dave. Congratulations last week, Dave. So this week we have Michael Wales, who bought some Google calls and did well on that. Mikey Mike. Let me read his post because I thought this was pretty cool. Okay, just pure luck. I'd opened a trading account with Fidelity when I bought OVTLYR subscription. Outstanding, no issues there. That sounds great. After realizing some of the platform limitations, I didn't want to trade there. I wanted to go to a different platform, yet to be announced, which will be awesome. But starting January 1st, when I start trading again, I will have a new platform. Just putting that out there. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. It will be the platform I'm moving to, and I'm going to tell you about if we haven't already made the announcement already. So it's the latest by that point. You'll know for sure. Anyway, I sold 3 of my positions and profited like $187. Like you said, pure luck. Way to go, dude. Congratulations. Sometimes trades just worked out for you. Dave, even though it's a down week, he sold some covered calls and averaged 72% gains on those. Outstanding. And then Dave and Mikey Mike going back and forth. So the winners are potentially, you know what? You know what I'm going to do just for you? Just because you gentlemen are here, I'm gonna let you both be winners. I'm going to give it to both. Now, Dave, you can't win. You just won last week. I'm going to give it both to Michael Wiles and to Mikey Mike. Congratulations to both at Michael Wiles. Where is he at here? In Wales. I'm sorry. It's Wales. I know. I'm sorry. And Mikey Mike. You're both winners of this week's weekly winners circle. Why not? It's Mahesh's money anyway. But we'll be out for a couple weeks, so it'll make it up. Peter is still not buying the milkshake if he gets the 10 grand. Where did that go? Hang on. Still not buying that milkshake. Congrats, he says. Congrats to the Mikes. Michael Wales, congrats. The Mikes have it. Merry Christmas and things. Congrats to both. Yes, you guys deserve it. And of course, like I say, it's so easy to enter into this week's winner circle. You're going to get a $10 Amazon gift card on us just for posting over there. So thank you guys for contributing. And you know what? Maybe you can find a couple things on Amazon for Christmas. Be sure to share your stories over in the Discord and tell everybody you know about OVTLYR. And like I say, I know you're already subscribed, but have you hit the like button? Now back to trading with the OVTLYR trading room. I'm a partner with OVTLYR. This is my style of trading using OVTLYR. And what is OVTLYR and how does it work? It's the world's best AI stock trading assistant, allowing you to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk through a 4-step process. Number 1, OVTLYR monitors how investors are reacting to changing market conditions, news, price movements, and the economy. OVTLYR determines if investors are acting irrationally fearful or greedy and by how much. OVTLYR gives buy and sell signals when those irrational behaviors reach an extreme. Number 4, allowing you to get into the stock before the OVTLYR move happens. Yes, Mikey Mike, you are welcome. April will send those to you. She's already gone for the day. She'll send it to you those gift cards on Monday. So the way that I trade, I call it the golden ticket trading strategy, and it always starts with the market. Now, the market has been chopping sideways hard, and I'm not really surprised, right? I'm not really surprised at all, and you shouldn't be either. We went up and we created this order block up here. Now, order block is a big set of orders that are waiting to be filled, right? And we have found this to be incredible support and resistance lines right there written on the chart. So we're bouncing right at this order block here. So unless it closes above this order block, this could stay for a while. And this would be overhead resistance if you want to think of it that way. But we have the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. The 10 is starting to flatten out. The 20 is catching up with it. And the SPY is considering going under it, right? I mean, it's not really doing a whole lot this week. Now, why isn't it doing a whole lot this week? Well, it's not doing a whole lot this week because there's not a whole lot happening. There's not a whole lot happening. You look at the market here, and it's a sea of red, a vast swath of red. This is over 1 week. This is not 1 day. A vast swath of red, with the exception of AVGO, Google, and Tesla. These are a little bit green, but those 3 right there of the Magnificent 7 are the ones holding things up. Now, the stock market is market cap weighted, right? So the big stocks have bigger impact than all the small stocks. That's how, when the whole market's looking red as could be, except for a handful, we're still near all-time highs. Okay. So, hey, Peter said he did AVGO this day and had an 18% win. Way to go. You should have put it in the share your big wins there, Peter. Way to go, my friend. So yeah, there's really not much going on out in the market right now in a positive skew. But if we look under the hood, look at market breadth. Hang on. I thought I had market breadth pulled up here. Give me 2 seconds here. If we look at market breadth here, you should have. We can see something that I've been saying for a hot minute, which is why I haven't been trading. Slam this to the right. The number of stocks on our bull list, the number of stocks with buy signals has been just tanking. it crested over this December 3rd, so at the beginning of the month, and has been going down and down since then. December 3rd was here. You could think of it like a leading indicator, right? If the market breadth is going down, that doesn't necessarily mean the market price is going to go down. We see that here, but it does say less participants are pushing up the market. The way I like to describe it is the general is the market, and all the market participants are the soldiers. If the soldiers are moving south, which we see here by the market breadth, we can see here on the market map, if the soldiers are all moving south, yet the general is still going north, at some point, the general is going to be left out in the open, and then it's going to turn around and go south as well. So I don't know when that's going to be, and I don't know if it's going to continue that way, right? Anything could happen. It could turn around. But in the meantime, I probably won't be trading for the rest of the month or the rest of the year. And that's okay, right? For me personally, I'm content with my returns. I came in about 11% on the year. We'll do a full breakdown at the end of the year on how those went. And, you know, it wasn't as good as the market, I'll say. But the market was crazy this year, up like nearly 30% over the course of a year. That's unusual, okay? That's super unusual. And that also makes me nervous that people are going to get complacent with a very strong market and throw risk control out the window. And then when we do see a pullback, get decimated. We've seen it time and time and time again. People get complacent in the market, they lose their risk control, and then they lose their account. I'm not going to do that. And I don't think you should either, right? But I just don't have anything that's setting up for the way that I trade. And that's okay. Sitting on the sidelines is the important part of trading when you don't have anything to trade. In fact, one of my mentors, Mark Minervini, where's it at? Oh, no. Oh, there it is. I lost it for a minute. Wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes, right? Just as long as it takes. It doesn't matter, right? There's no rush, okay? When you evolve to the point of always being patient and only taking quality trades, that means you've decided that you're in it for you're not in it for the action, but to make money. That's where I'm at. I'm not here to play. I have one objective, and that is to have more money in my account than I did yesterday. And if I don't have a signal set up, that's okay. I'll just wait for the next day. You have sit out power. You never force trades. You're a pro. And this is something that I really like. It's been a while since I've talked about this one, but remember, while you do nothing, less experienced, lesser disciplined, and less skilled investors are laying the groundwork for your success. They're going to build the bases, and he's going to buy the breakouts. I'm a huge advocate for this. Let everybody else figure out what the trend is doing. And only once the trend has decided to figure itself out, that's when I'm in. But in the meantime, you can hang out and have no risk to your account. But be sure you don't take any trades that don't fit your trading plan. So that's going to wrap it for me. Thank you so much for being an outlier. I want to make sure you can save time, make money, and start winning with less risk with us every single day by trading with us in the Outlier Trading Room. Don't forget, you can get Outlier. Special deal ends at the end of the year. You can get it for 45% off right now. It's only 90 cents a day. But like I say, it ends at the end of the year. Let us know if you need anything. And of course, tell everybody you can about Outlier. And just for housekeeping's sake, next Friday will be my last live stream for the year, the 20th. And then I'll be out from the 23rd through the 3rd and then back again on the 6th. So that'll be my plan. You're welcome, Peter. Mikey Mike asks, are all these slides available in the Discord? Oh, all the like my quote sides? I don't think they are. Here's what I'm gonna do, Mikey Mike. I'm gonna actually, here's what I am gonna do. I'm gonna make this bigger and I'm gonna screenshot this and drop it in the Discord right now. That way you've got it. Hold tight. So these three from Mark. Copy. Paste. By the way, you guys know that we're doing interviews now. Mark is on my list. I haven't texted with Mark in a minute, but Mark is on my list of people to get on the program here. Mark is like the sweetest guy. You would not believe how incredibly sweet he is. While he's shooting guns and driving Lambos. Oh, I put this in the wrong stream. Oh, well. Yeah, we'll call it right there. Boom. Now they're in the Discord. I hope that was useful to you. Thank you all so much for coming. You are welcome, and have a fantastic afternoon. See you right back here on Monday. Talk soon.